Welcome to Let's Be Real 100%, where we are 100% real about life. We know that life happens and we are here to talk about it. And when I say we, I'm talking about it's all God and little old me. Join us as we jump into our topic today. Welcome back to another episode on Let's Be Real 100%. Well, we have been on an amazing journey. This journey has taught me so much about how God has brought so many people through to share their stories and to let people know that they are not alone. And this journey, we can walk hand in hand and be successful and be very, very helpful to one another. Our next journey is with Miss Alycia. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation because I know I did. And we will come back and talk to you soon. But we're here though. We're here. We're
That's
here.
so
We're here.
true.
We are here. So welcome to a episode of the journey. With Let's Be Real. This podcast is to encourage others to let them know they're not alone, whether good, bad, or ugly, or indifferent. I want to be able to create a safe space for people to share their stories and to let the world know, of course, that we're here together, hand in hand. Um, I usually start my podcast off with a icebreaker,
Okay.
just to break the ice. I mean, I feel like we broke the ice already, but just just to have it. So the question I have for you is, I truly just had it. What is your favorite thing to do by yourself?
Ooh.
And I know I've listened to your some of your messages. I know you're a mom, so I kind of like got
Yeah.
everybody else in your mind. But what when you get alone, what do you like to do
Oh,
by
my
yourself?
favorite thing is just to be alone.
Mm.
I'm a teenager sometimes. I could go in my room and shut the
Yes.
door and be happy. My
Yes.
husband will ask, are you, all of them will ask, are you coming downstairs today?
Oh
Um,
wow.
I
No.
hadn't planned on it. Like, do I need to? There's nothing on the calendar.
Right. Exactly.
Um, I could really, and I have mobility issues because I've really bad arthritis in my knees, and so
Hmm.
going up and down the stairs is always a thing. Like if I go
Right.
downstairs, I'm there. I'm down for the
I'm
day.
there. Right.
Right. We're not playing with this. So if I
Right.
don't
Right.
have anything to do, I'm like, I can really stay up here and just do whatever. Like I'll have my,
Right.
I call it my mobile office, which is my backpack, which just is my
Hmm.
laptop, my notebooks. I love color pens, so I
Yeah.
have
Me too.
I have my pack of pens that travel with me. I also have a pack of pens that are at my desk downstairs.
Hmm.
And I have some random pens all around the house. That's kind of an addiction, but we're not going to go there.
You sound like my bonus mom. She got a pen. Every. I'm like, Mom, you got a pen?
Sure. What
Yeah.
color? What color you need?
Right.
You want
Exactly.
purple? You want pink? You want a little green? What you need? You want
Right.
army
Right.
green, lime
Right.
green?
Like, how you feeling today? What color are you
What?
today? Listen.
Listen, it
I
was
get it.
it was so bad. I was like color coding my planner and
You
my
ain't
digital
lying. You.
planner and my
Yeah. That's.
paper planner. And a friend of
Yeah.
mine was like, What are you doing?" I was like,
Listen.
I'm
I'm
working on my
planning.
planner." What? She just shook her head. It's
That's me.
bad. School supplies season happened. I'm like, "Ooh, what's
Hmm.
on sale? Ooh,
Yes.
I literally bought." Okay, I'm telling too much, but I literally bought a pack
Mm-mm,
of
no,
pens yesterday.
for myself.
Right, girl. No, colored gel pens. They were on
Yes.
sale in the clearance
Yes.
section. I don't need any more pens.
Nah. But then the thing is, the bad part, when you go back to the store, to that same store, and you see it, you're gonna get it anyway,
I
even though you
mean,
don't need it, just to have it.
just in case.
That part. Just in
Just
case
in
my
case.
purple tin that want to act up, I got another
I
purple one
got
right
another
here.
come on, see you understand.
I am. I truly understand. Like, it's not just pens. I got like, I have like a dry erase board right here next to me, next to my work desk, and I have multiple marker colored pens. And my bills are in one color. My to do list is one color. My vacation is another color.
I love it. I
My
love
to
it.
do, yeah, everything is another color. And I'm like, you know what? I need more colors
Man,
because I got more to do.
I had the whole family color coded at one point, and then my mom, you're doing too much. Now
You know.
I'm the only woman and I'm the only female energy in this house. I have a husband and two boys.
See, I barely made it. That last one, my little girl is the last one, and I prayed. I was like, Lord, if this is a little boy, I know you got a sense of humor, because this is just too much testosterone in this. Because I
Girl.
got a husband and three boys, and I was like, Lord,
Ooh,
give me this little girl, please, Jesus. And when she
girl. It's
came, everybody was happy.
people like, are you
Yeah,
gonna go for the boy? No, I'm good. I'm good.
that part.
I can't
Yeah,
do no more. I
for
can't do no
real.
more. I have a girlfriend who, bless her heart, like her whole family. She has, I think the count is 6 boys,
Mm,
and they just adopted a little baby girl. I was like,
about time.
you got your girl. I'm so
She
happy.
did. No matter how it came,
No
you
matter
got
how
it.
she got her, and oh, she's so precious. She's so
Oh,
precious,
yeah.
and
That's
they
why
love
every
on
yeah.
her.
I bet.
Them boys
I
are crazy for that little girl.
I bet y'all they better be ready for whatever little boy cross up path. He better be ready.
Oh, he gon'
Yeah.
I hate it for him. I
He
already
said
know.
bad. He's
Tween
might be
her.
like bad boys with the
Listen,
gun, gun at the door. To my, where you going? Who you here
listen,
with?
listen. I don't even. I can't even
Yeah,
imagine like
thing.
6 and then daddy. Oh, it's a
Oh yeah,
wrap.
exactly,
It's a wrap.
exactly. She might as well be a nun.
Right? It's a wrap. I mean, he gonna have to be like he gonna have to be on point plus three
Yes, plus
times
three.
three. Like,
That part.
bruh,
And we ain't gonna count the uncles and everybody else who been waiting on
come
the girls. Well,
on. We
exactly.
ready. We all ready. Like, step up if you want to.
I'm trying to tell you, but let me listen. Let me get your DNA, your social security card, your credit score, your police
Mm-mm.
record. I need all of that.
It's a wrap.
Like, how you ask a 5-year-old for all that? Yeah, I need all of that, baby.
I
I need
need
your
it
mama
all.
name.
Mm-mm. Give me your
Yeah,
blood
that.
tint. Put your fingerprint right here, baby. There we
Yes,
go.
right.
We
Exactly.
gonna fingerprint today. Let me. Okay, yeah. Give me the index finger, thumb. There we go. Good job, baby. Go ahead
Exactly.
and play.
Right. Let me pat you down.
In fact,
Got make sure you ain't got no lies and nothing, no secret,
we used
no secret
man,
status.
we used to joke. My husband and I used to joke because we our first child, we lost our first child, and it was a little girl.
Hmm.
And and sometimes my husband's like, you know what? That might have been a really gift from God because she wouldn't be able to do anything. Like
I
her,
believe it.
she bless her. It would
Yeah.
between her daddy and them boys. Oh,
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I know my my little girl. She feel the pressure, but she like. But the thing is, she's the biggest one in the house. Because she is the only little girl. But trust and believe, if something happened, you better pray the Lord your soul to keep. Cause it's a whole story. But yeah,
oh.
it's but yeah,
Play
it.
games
And
if
then
you
she
want
over here
to.
laughing. She laughing like I.
It'll be Montgomery all over again.
What? Okay, looking all over again. Y'all better just go. Don't even worry about it. Just save your life and just go the other way. Just just go the other way. It's okay. They smell you coming. It's okay.
Right?
But just like nope, just go. But yeah, I definitely enjoy having the little girl because it helps my life. So, but the thing is, she one of the ones who's in my closet. She ain't even, she's only 8. She's already in my closet. I
Oh,
already asking
dang.
me, Mama, can I keep this when I get older? Can I
Oh,
have your spray? Just like wait. I said by the time you get older, you ain't gonna be thinking about nothing up in this closet. It probably won't even be here. She's like, oh, it will.
it
I was like,
will.
oh,
She's like, I know what
okay,
I
my
want, and
bad.
she already got plans for it.
Yeah, she do, and she was like, if I was to put it in the bag, she'll go and take it out and go put it in her closet
I'm
too.
like,
So
this
just
mine, mommy.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But we definitely got on a whole nother topic.
I'm sorry.
But no, you're fine, you're fine. It was her whispering to me, kind of like, Mom, I do this too. I'm like, wait, what? But you talking about these boys? What about me? Like,
Right.
what? Wait.
Like, hold on.
Like, wait a minute, I got you. But indeed, so you told us a little bit about yourself, about being a football mom and everything. Like, tell us a little bit more about who you are.
Who I am? Ooh, that's a loaded question. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of start with the basics. I
Mm-hmm.
am married with two kids. So my husband
Mm-hmm.
and I have been together for it'll be 22 years in
Oh,
November.
amazing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you, I'm gonna pick your brain on that one. We're gonna
Look,
get there though. We're gonna get there.
girl, whew, and we joke now. Our running joke, or two of our running jokes is 22
Long.
long years, and then we're like, we still like each other, which
That part right
Connie,
there. That part right there. Like you can love them, but you can't. You don't have to like them.
I like you.
I like you. I actually like
I
you.
like spending time with you.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
and it it's been 22 years, so it hasn't always been like that.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. That's what I said. I'm gonna pick your brain on down the line. But
girl.
come on, I got you.
Very side note.
Right.
I do have two boys. I have a 18-year-old who is a high school senior this year,
Okay.
and how does the other one? 15-year-old. That's our football
Uh-uh.
player.
Stop it.
I drew a blank, complete
Well, we got
blank.
the same kids. I have a 15-year-old and well my 18-year-old just graduated last year in May. So we right there
We're
together.
right there, girl. So you see,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we
I understand.
we
I feel you.
my girlfriend and I have because we used to live next door to each other, friend of mine, and between our on our wall was like a glass mirror. It was just
Mm-hmm.
it's a older style uh complex. So, but they had these
Mm-hmm.
glass mirrors on the wall, and so whenever something would happen that was happening in her house, and it was like the same kind of situation in my house, we would
Wow.
always just say mirror.
Right.
So you and I mirror.
Yeah,
We
we're
understand
married.
what's happening.
I'm on the other side of the states and you're on the other one,
Yeah.
but we still mirroring though.
You see me. So
Yes.
yeah, so 22 years, good space now. Two boys.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I'm a
Okay.
Hoosier. I've been here
Well, I'm coming. I'm coming.
all in all
Mm-hmm.
on and off for about if he's 18, so at least 20. Oh, wow, about 20 years. We took a break,
Mm.
lived in Texas for a minute, hated it, moved back home to
I'm
Virginia for
still
a little
here.
bit.
I'm
You're in
still here.
Texas?
I'm still. I
Oh,
am.
what part?
I
Oh,
know, right?
oh.
It's
I'm
the
sorry,
hard
you
part
Texas
for
people
me.
listening. I
I
know
know I'm
there's
from
some good
Arkansas.
people there.
I'm from originally from Arkansas, but I came to Texas in '06 after I graduated high school, and I've been here ever since. But I'm trying to leave. I'm just trying to if I can get my church family to rise up
Leave
with
with
me
you.
and go, I'll be gone. But I can't rise them up by myself.
We're like, come on,
So
y'all, we
I'm
can do
good.
this. Let's
You know
go.
what I'm saying?
Let's go plant the church in another state.
Yeah,
Let's go.
exactly, exactly. That'd be the only thing that's holding me down. Like I can come visit family all the time, but I don't like moving to the churches. Like, just come on with me. It's
Just
okay.
come on with me. I want to. I
Yeah,
can't find y'all nowhere else.
no, for real.
Let's go. This is special.
Right,
We want to keep this together. I understand. That's how I
right.
was when I left Indy for Texas. I
Hmm.
have a circle here. We started out as a play group for our kids. It was called Moms and Kids for
Hmm.
Christ, and we would get together
Okay. Hmm.
every wow. I think we would get together weekly or every other week and do
Hmm.
like lessons for the kids. And
Oh,
this was
cool.
my baby, my oldest was 6 months when I started. And
Oh, time has
yeah,
flown.
girl,
Mm.
6 months. That's how long been connected. And
Wow.
that group grew into it's still such a blessing to me and to my
Hmm.
family. But that was like my community. And
Wow.
when it was time, when we moved to Texas, I think the boys want David, how I think he was like five or no, he was maybe 8 when we moved.
Hmm.
So this was 8 years. And these were the people he knew. These were his extended family. Like these were
Right.
his aunties,
Hmm.
and all of our friends he had known since he was a baby.
Right.
The little
Wow.
one was like, whatever. As
Right.
long as I
He
got
can
my
have
brother, I'm good.
that part. My mama, my
Um,
daddy, and my brother. I'm good. Everybody
right.
else.
I don't really know I mean, they're cool, but I don't really know them all like that.
Right.
But when we moved, so that was the hardest part about moving to Texas was that I was leaving that community
Right.
and then
Right.
trying to recreate it in Texas. And that's probably one of the reasons why I have such um I twitch when we start talking about Texas
Okay, we're
because
gonna leave Texas out of it.
you
It's
know, I get
okay.
little
I have no, I have no emotions tied to Texas, but my church
and
and family. Like I said, I can come and visit back and forth. I don't mind driving and flying.
I have
I'm
to
gonna learn how to
remember
fly.
there are good people in Texas,
There
so I can't
are.
talk about the
It's
state
it.
so bad.
It's not even the people. It's the weather for me. I just can't. I just don't understand. I'm gonna have to ask God. I'm like, Lord, what is wrong with Texas? Like, why is it so bipolar? Like, I don't understand. We can have like three different weathers in one whole day. Like, what is
That's
happening? Like,
true.
the sun will
That's
be out
true.
in 1 hour, then we have a tornado over here in the corner, and then turn around and rain and hell,
And
and
you
then
have
turn
a
on sunshine
whole
again before the end of the
rainstorm.
day. Like,
And then you'd be like, wait, why is the sun shining now?
right,
We just,
right.
yeah, I remember that part too. Yeah, that was
Mm-mm. Yeah. But we're
so,
gonna leave Texas out of it. So we're gonna
yeah,
go.
so so yeah, community is, so that was a big part of why we ended up coming back here too.
Right.
Originally from Virginia. And I would say, who am I? I am, you know, I'm a confident, loving woman on a mission to help other moms figure out who they are.
Come on,
And
I'm
I
ready.
got here because there was a time in my life as a mom where I was completely lost.
Hmm.
I was pouring into everybody for so long that there was nothing, I had nothing else to give.
Right.
And I was kind of going through the motions,
Hmm.
but I wasn't, I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know I was David's mom, I was Jonathan's mom, and I was Marquise's wife.
Right.
I had forgot who Alycia was.
Right.
And my husband used to ask me during this time, and it's funny, I didn't know all of what he was going through at this point,
Hmm.
and he didn't know all of what I was going through because I couldn't even figure it out. Like I was like,
Right.
I,
Let alone try to explain it.
let alone try to
Right.
explain it. And so I call my husband the philosopher. So he's always
Hmm.
asking questions and,
Hmm.
digging, and so he
Right.
asked me at one point, what's your dream? What do you dream about? What do you dream about doing? And it would irritate me to my
Hmm.
core because I didn't have an answer and I
Come on.
didn't know how to communicate that to him
Hmm.
that I didn't have an answer. And he would
Wow.
get frustrated because he thought I was dodging the question or just kind of
Hmm.
giving him an okey doke answer. Because I'd be like, I don't know.
Listen, let me just say one word to you.
Yes, ma'am.
M- Mirror. Let's go. Keep going. I'm listening. I'm so there with you. I'm your husband is a mirror to mine and I'm a
Girl.
mirror to you. Come on. I'm listening.
So, and that would, oh, girl. But that was the reason why it burned me so bad. Because I
Hmm.
didn't know anymore.
Right.
I had no clue. Since my oldest was born, I've been a stay-at-home mom.
Hmm.
We lost our first daughter,
Hmm.
and she was born at 19 weeks. And when he came, and then I have horrible pregnancies with my two sons,
Hmm.
and so when that first kid was born, I was all
Hmm.
in. My
Right.
husband was all in. He was a truck driver at the time for most of he just really got off the road, sold his truck maybe a week ago or last week.
Oh,
So he's
recently. Oh.
recent non-truck driver, wholly completely transitioning into something else.
Right.
And so he was on the road, so it made sense that I stayed home.
Hmm.
And plus, in one of the reasons why I was so like I call it bottles blazing,
Hmm.
all in to mothering was because before 21, I had already had two terminations. I had one
Oh,
at 16 and I had one at 21 and when I was a rising senior in college. And
wow.
I never thought one that I deserved to be a mom
Mm,
because I had given those gifts back to God, and I just never thought I deserved to be a mom, so I wouldn't be a mom. I really never
right,
thought I was getting married either. That was a whole nother thing.
right.
And so when we lost Victoria, that was
Mm-hmm,
our daughter's name. She was born at 19 weeks. And although that was one of the most traumatic experiences, I'm still grateful for it
mm-hmm,
because I was actually able to give birth to her
mm,
and I was able to hold her whole in my hand. And for me, that was like a kiss from God.
wow.
I know He had already forgiven me
Mm-hmm,
years ago. He and I worked this thing out a while ago
right.
before I
So
even
like,
quit.
right. So like, also before we go any further, I don't want to like get to the very end and then have to go all the way back.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, so like when you were in college at 16 and then 21, like what, how did you make it through that journey? Like when you
Oh,
gave your children, like I know it was like a mental thing, I know it was like a spiritual thing, it was like a
it was
whole
a whole thing. It
nine
was,
yard thing. So
and
how did
people
that
don't
journey
realize
go?
just how what goes into that
Mm-hmm.
um, decision, that process. At 16, that at 16, I was in love with my high school sweetheart. He
Mm-hmm.
was a senior, I was a sophomore, and when we found out I was pregnant, we began to make plans. We were going to get married when he graduated and
Mm-hmm.
so this was a baby that was conceived in love,
Mm-hmm.
um and we had plans. But I was 16 and I was not the smartest. 16-year-olds are just not,
Yeah.
I mean they're learning, but
Yeah.
they're not the brightest in the box.
In the coloring box,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're just not. And I
Mhm. Yeah,
wasn't.
you just now walking into your somewhat of an identity at age 16.
Girl,
Yeah.
this that I
I'm
okay.
looking at a
I'm,
mirror.
I'm
I'm
gonna
good.
tell
I'm
y'all.
listening.
I'm gonna share how my mama found out about the baby.
Yeah. Okay.
So he and I were in church, and we were passing notes on the church
Mm.
program, right? Oh,
Not the church
the
program.
church program, girl. We were in there writing notes on the church program, passing back and forth, talking about our life together, and just
Mm-hmm.
all the things about the baby.
Wow.
Now, my normal routine, I would go to church. I went to our family church. My mom did not go to church, but
Mm-hmm.
she would always ask, "How was church? What did y'all learn?"
Mm-hmm.
Or or she
Mm-hmm.
would grab the program
Mm-mm.
and check
Mm-mm.
it out. This
Mm-mm.
was like a normal thing in our house.
Mm-mm.
So this Sunday, what happens? My mother grabs the program to check out
Wow.
what happened on Sunday. And then I'm back in my room. I I just leave this program in the living room, in the den, just thrown wherever. See, it's not
N-
smart.
Not thinking
Not
about the
thinking,
whole
girl,
conversation. Wow.
listen, I heard my whole name called.
You hear me? The government, honey.
Huh,
The
I-
bloodline
and
and
the
called.
tone in which it was called. And our house was not big, but I
Right.
swear the house shook.
Mm.
And I came out of my room like, what happened? Like, what did I, like, what? And I saw her holding the program.
Oh my God. He said your life melted right there. Oh my God.
Kid, I don't even have words to describe that moment.
Wow.
The look on her face, because I was the good girl. I was the baby of the family. My sister and I are 7 years apart. So this was
Right.
kind of like I was the one she got to do over.
Right.
My sister's older. She had her when she was younger, and
Hold on one second, sis.
Okay.
What's that?
I have a flat tire,
Uh
and this is my wife's car, so I have to go get like the jack and all that.
huh.
Is that
Okay.
okay if it stays here?
That's fine. That's
Okay,
fine. Mhm.
thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I don't know why he asked me that question. I mean, I don't keep eyes on cars like that. I keep it ain't mine.
Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know if it loses. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, everybody got cameras around here, so hopefully, if somebody catch something on something. I don't know. I guess. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Who is that? My door.
like,
Okay.
like
All
I'm
right. So,
working here.
and then, right. I'm enjoying this conversation.
Right.
Like in the whole zone.
The whole-
Okay. So, back into the moment.
yes,
That
ma'am.
moment of her reading it through.
Well, I just that whole moment, and my mom went ballistic. Oh, I was a good girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was my mom's chance to kind of redo some things. My sister
Mm-hmm.
and I both got my mom at different stages, and so I didn't
Right.
know growing up what that really meant.
Yes.
But now, as
Right.
a grown woman, I'm like, oh, okay,
Yes.
I
Come
get it now.
on. I do get it.
I
Yes.
get it now. She
Yes.
was at a different phase,
Yes.
and but the look, I was the quiet one. I was the one. Well, my sister, she wasn't quiet, but I was the quiet one. I had good grades.
Mm-hmm.
I did all the things until I did that.
Right.
And my mom went ballistic.
Wow.
And that I she she gave me an ultimatum. She was like, basically, it's either that baby or me.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Because I'm not raising no babies.
Oh wow.
So, and I don't even remember all of it. I don't remember that night other than going in my room and sobbing. And
Right.
my sister tried to console me, and then I don't know if I snuck to call my best friend, because this is way before cell phone, so I had to like go
Mm-hmm.
out and get the long corded phone into the
Right.
room.
Right.
Um, but yeah, she gave me that ultimatum, and
Wow.
that's how I took it, as an ultimatum.
Mm.
Like, this was
Right.
gonna happen.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not raising no baby. So if you raise this baby, if you have this baby, you're doing it on your own.
Mm.
And that was terrifying to me.
Right.
I never thought, I never fathomed that I would have that baby and not have my mom.
Right.
So I made the choice. I chose my mom.
Wow.
Um, and looking back on it, I don't think it would have gone down that way if I had chose the baby. She would have been
Mm-hmm.
mad for a while,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but knowing
Yeah.
my mom, it would not, in retrospect, knowing my mom, she would not have like completely counted me out. But I didn't
Right.
know that then.
Right.
And I could not, at 16, imagine a life without my mom
Right.
being by my side.
Right.
And at 16, I believe my mama said it, she meant it.
Exactly. Especially the hurt, the anger, and the
Oh,
disappointment that was in her eyes. You don't want to ever see that again.
I never wanted to see
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah.
Ever in my life did I want to see that again. And
Wow.
so I chose my mom. I chose not to disappoint her.
Right.
And I don't I don't think I really got through it when I was 16, because it was never talked about again.
Mm-hmm.
Only a few of my friends knew. I don't know of anybody outside of if they had told anybody outside the circle, but no
Right.
one else said anything to me about it. It was never talked about.
Right.
It was just kind of our little secret.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think my mom told. I don't know who my mom told.
Right.
So I don't know who else knew what had gone down.
Right.
So
So while you were laying on. I don't know how they. I don't really know how the abortion thing went back then. So while you were in that room, whatever kind of room it was, like when you were laying there, how what was going through your mind? Like,
I was trying not to. All I could, all I remember the most is the sounds in the room,
mm-hmm,
and it's very clinical. It's everything from what I can remember was very clinical.
mm-hmm,
Um, I was not, as the kids say now, locked in at all. I just
right,
wanted it to be over.
right,
So I was not trying to pay it. I really wasn't engaged in what they were saying. I
mm-hmm.
was really kind of in a daze. Like
Oh, so you pretty much disconnected yourself
I
from the
disconnected
situation.
all the way.
Mm,
I was just like, just let this be over.
right.
Just let it
Wow.
be over. And when I got pregnant at 21, it was a rising senior. And I remember I was actually on my way that's to a summer program that summer for I was in Atlanta at Spelman, and then I was going to a summer program at UNC Chapel Hill for to encourage Black students, minority students to
Mm-hmm,
continue their education at the graduate level.
mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was. It was a program, what it was called, but that's pretty much what they were trying to do. Like, help
Right,
encourage us to go on to get our masters and all that. So I
right.
was on my way to that when I found out I was pregnant, and I disconnected again, and this time on autopilot made the choice. The only person who knew at that time was the father,
Mm,
and it was almost like it was very mechanical. I went in to to the doctor to find and not to find out that I was pregnant, like because something was
right.
wrong. And I kind of knew, but I didn't know. And then when she told me, and she's like, "Okay, well, we'll make an appointment for the next time." I remember thinking there will not be another time.
I mean, like so when you said it won't be another time, was you thinking back to the
Oh, I
disappointment?
knew in that point, in that it was an automatic decision.
Wow.
Like in that moment when she told me that I was pregnant, and she was, you will make your follow up appointment,
Right.
a prenatal appointment.
Mm-hmm.
I knew then there was no need for that appointment.
Wow.
There would be no need for that appointment. And no one knew about that one. I don't even think my best friend knew about that one.
Wow.
And so there were years of just pushing it all down. And we just continued with the good girl image.
Right.
And so I remember, but God is good because
Ain't it though? Mm-hmm.
during that summer program, I think I was at one of the lowest emotional points, one of the lowest spiritual points, because I had just gone through another traumatic experience,
Right.
um, just lost something or gave it away, or
Right.
not even gave it away, threw it away,
Right.
threw it back to God. And so I'm feeling like crap.
Right.
And so I'm at this experience that's supposed to be, for smart Black students.
Right.
And we're going to show you, graduate life and all this stuff. So I'm being celebrated as an up and coming, um, professional Black student. And inside, I am a hot mess.
Right.
And God sends me one of my dearest friends to this day. And her light is so bright. It is just ridiculous.
You say blinding.
Oh my gosh. Even to this day, she is just like, she's like, "Oh, I just love Jesus." I'm like, it's like, I need you to get mad. So when she does
Right.
it, I said, "Okay, I'll say it for you." And so then I'll say something crazy. She's like, "Yeah, that's kind of how I was thinking." That's
Mm-mm.
kind of
That's
how
funny.
how we work together. But it's not. But it's so sincere. Like her spirit and her love and her energy is so sincere and it's just so special that
It
it's
attracts you. It's like a magnet. You
it's
gotta just have it.
infectious. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's infectious. And so God placed her in my path that summer.
Hmm.
She was at where was she? She was in Virginia at Tar Heel. What
Hmm.
is that? Whatever that's. She gonna be mad that I don't know her school. That's not Tar Heels.
Forgive
Charlotte,
her. Forgive her.
forgive me,
Forgive
baby.
her.
She was somewhere in Charlottesville, UVA. Goodness gracious, she
It's
gonna
coming together.
oh, she gonna get me. You
It's
mean you
okay.
forgot my school?
Right. Right.
She ended up going to UNC Chapel Hill for graduate school. So that's why I was
Okay.
like, no, it's not UNC. So she was in
Right.
Virginia at in college, and I'm all the way in Atlanta in college.
Wow.
She lived in Northern Virginia. I lived in on the east on the peninsula, and so we would
Okay.
have never really crossed paths.
Right.
So for her to be in this program, and was she in my room? I don't even remember if she was in my room or not.
So
But
you finna get
somehow
yourself in a whole lot of trouble right now.
I know it's bad. Listen, do you know how long ago that
I
was?
believe it. Grace her. Just
Like,
give her grace.
just give me grace, y'all. I'm about to really date myself, but that was the
It's
summer of
okay.
'94.
Yeah, well, yeah, I grace you. I got you. I
You know what I'm
understand.
saying?
Because I don't even know what I was doing in '94, so I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, what was I doing in '94?
Listen, there's some people who are gonna be listening and be like, in the '90s? You mean in the 1900s?
No.
I would have punched him. I think when my kid said something like that, I was like, you better be glad I don't punch you in the throat.
What? I say the same thing. They're like, man, back in your days. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. There's nothing new under the sun. Just know that.
Right? You better get out my face with that. But yeah, it's the
Right.
1990s, the 1900s. Yes, that
That's
was
that's.
way back in the 1900s, girl. But yeah, so but just and she did not know until maybe 2 years ago
Mhm.
how much I needed her when we met.
Right.
She never knew about me giving the baby away or giving the baby back. I always say give the baby back to God. She
Hmm.
never knew about that.
Wow.
No one knew until I began to years later. I think I was probably my husband and I got back. We got back together and or got married when I was 28.
Okay.
We knew each other in high school, lost contact, and then got back
Hmm.
into contact and got married.
Okay. Okay.
So that's like the quick version of us. Um, but so wow, gosh, somewhere in there, like after I graduated and was kind of doing the adult thing, I had to
Hmm.
really wrestle with that because there was a lot of guilt, there was a lot of
Hmm.
shame. Um, I didn't know how I wanted to do relationships because I never wanted to be in a relationship where I didn't want to keep the
Right. You don't
child.
want to find your in that position anymore.
Yeah, never again. And
Right.
so I had to wrestle with a lot. And so even in that, I couple of people that I dated during that time or seriously dated during that time, I began to share those experiences. And they
Hmm.
actually helped me kind of process it. And,
Hmm.
and it was almost like once you say it out loud
Hmm.
and someone acknowledges that it's okay, like that you're okay, that they're not, that you're still lovable.
Right. We're not judging you
You're not
or
judging. It's just,
condemning you. Yeah.
yeah, it's just something, that it doesn't define you.
Right.
It's an
Good
experience
word.
that you have, but it doesn't define all of who you are
Right.
and what you've learned from that. And so
Right.
I had to, me and God did a lot of wrestling because, and no, I shouldn't say that. I did a lot of pushing. He
Mhm.
didn't wrestle. He was just waiting for me to be like, I'm sorry.
Right.
Please forgive me. And I did, but I still hadn't forgiven myself and given myself
Girl.
grace for that.
Girl.
And it
Listen.
wasn't until I started to forgive myself. And that was a part of my sharing with other people because I felt like it they helped me to know that I could still be loved even with having that in my story, in my past.
Right. So in your
So,
process of forgiving yourself, when you're looking in the mirror and you're like, Alycia, listen, you got to forgive yourself. How did you even get there? Like when you say, Lord, I'm sorry, forgive me, but at the same time you said, I have to learn how to forgive myself. That's like one of the hardest things I
yeah,
feel like to do, is to forgive yourself, because like every time, well, for me, I guess every time I look in the mirror, I see that. That's all I seen,
yeah, yeah,
and that's all I heard, my own voice telling me, girl, you did this, and
yeah.
how do you feel? Like you just did the most abominable thing, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so it's a lot of things that go through your mind. So like, in that process of you forgiving yourself, like, how did that go?
Well, one thing that I did is I wrote a letter to the babies
Oh my goodness.
and I asked them to forgive me.
Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna need a box of tissue. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm listening. I've never heard that before, but that is truly powerful.
Yeah.
Like, that's, and you express, baby, I didn't know what I was doing. I was young.
Yeah. I don't
I was this, I was that. It
all
just
the
wasn't.
things. Like I don't even remember
Yeah.
what I put in it, but I told them that I
Right.
love them and that I was
Wow.
sorry and that I hope that they can forgive me. Like I don't even remember, but that was what my heart like. I
Right.
love you, even though I did that. Um, you were conceived in love. You are. I
It's
hope
still
you're
important
happy
to
where you
me.
are, and
Yeah.
I just and I
Wow.
named them.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah,
Did you name them in
I
the letter?
named them. The 16-year-old, the baby that I gave away or
Mm-hmm.
terminated at 16. Her name was Carmen.
Love it.
Yeah, her name was Carmen Anastasia Taylor. I don't know where the Anastasia came from.
That's cute though. I like that.
I was taking Latin at the time, and that's what Carmen meant song.
Yes.
And Anastasia, I forgot what that. I think that was princess, or I know she was like a
Okay.
Roman, Russian. I don't know where. And then
Well, I know she was a princess. She was a princess back in the day.
she
So
was.
Anastasia. So yeah.
So and then her dad's last name was Taylor, and so it was Cat.
Oh, cute. I didn't even catch
Okay.
that. That's
I
cute.
yeah, I would have her like I would have her name on my notebook, her initials in class. I would be scrambling her name. So she definitely had a name. It was harder for the
Hmm.
second baby because that was such a quick
Right.
automatic
Immediate.
decision. I
Hmm.
didn't give it um but for some reason I gave him a male name and his name was Michael.
Mm.
I had a girl in my mind, I had a girl and a boy. I don't know
Wow.
what, and so that I named them and someone gave me that. I can't remember who it was, but someone told me to name them and
To make it more personal.
to make it more personal, especially the
Yes.
the the second baby. I had already named the first baby. She had
Right.
a whole I had a whole like life plan for her.
You did. You
I did.
surely did. Right there
Yeah.
on that piece of paper.
Right there, right in my notebook.
Right.
In my high
Wow.
school notebook. We had her initials, she was Cat. It was a whole thing. It was a whole
Wow.
thing. So his was a little harder
Hmm.
because it was such a quick automatic decision and I I shut down. I was numb
Right.
because if I had to protect myself
Hmm.
and that was the only way that I knew to do that. was to go numb so I wouldn't feel anything.
Right.
So when the feelings started to come, they were powerful. And uh, I had gone through with Carmen's termination. I had gone through a bit of depression, but we didn't talk about depression back then.
Right. Right.
And so no one really knew what was going on with me. I didn't, but it was really weird. Inside, I was a hot mess. Outside, I'm trying to regain my good girl image because
Right.
I had to restore that with my mom.
Right.
So I was a little quieter, kind of stayed out of the way, wasn't
Yeah.
trying to get in any trouble, at least that she knew about,
Right.
and all the things. On the outside, I was really trying to get drunk. And I remember standing at my gate asking a friend of mine who was one of the partiers in the crew. I wasn't a
Mhm.
big partier, so I didn't know who to go to, what to do, and how to do this.
Right.
But I knew who did.
Right.
And he doesn't even remember this. He's like one of my brothers. We've known each other since kindergarten. He doesn't even remember this because I shared this with him once. But I had asked him, I told him I wanted to drink, I wanted to get drunk. And he was like, I better not see you or hear about you doing anything stupid like that.
Mhm.
And it was like he was my brother, right?
Right.
I better not see or hear that
Mm.
you out here acting stupid and getting drunk.
Right. Right.
So
Because
I
he knew
was
that
like,
wasn't you.
it wasn't me.
Right.
And he didn't know what was going on, but he that and so now I'm like, well dang, if I
Right.
go out there and be stupid, he gonna
He gonna
find out
find
about
out.
it.
Exactly.
Of all people, he gonna find out.
Right.
So I can't even one day. And
Like,
I
what am I
didn't.
supposed to do now? Right.
Right. Like, and so
Right.
I just kind of stayed in my lane, pushed it all down, and took that energy into being the good girl and getting everything right and making sure all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed.
Right.
And when the second one rolled around, we're back at that same thing. Like, we just gonna have to keep going because if I
Right.
stop and I
Yeah.
think about it, I don't
Right.
know what's gonna happen.
Right.
And I'm grateful for the people who were in my life, even though they had no clue what was happening.
Right.
They protected me, God used them to protect me from some foolishness.
Right.
And
Wow.
I mean, I
Wow.
still did stupid stuff because
Right.
I was young and dumb and trying
Like
to
like the rest of us trying to fit in
right,
the
trying to
crowd
fit
that
in,
we
feel
wasn't.
better, all the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
But I really believe I was protected from some really craziness, um, because it could be a whole different story.
Mhm.
It could have been a whole different story. And so I think truly by the grace of God, um, and the people He put in my life, because I know there is no doubt He put my friend Kim in my life when I was in not graduate school, but that in '94. There's no doubt.
Right.
There's no doubt in my
Right.
mind. He knew we needed each other,
Right.
but I definitely needed her. I
Wow.
definitely needed her at that point. Like, I needed her energy. I needed her light. Um, because he shined so bright through her. Like, it was like you said, blinding.
Right.
It was just
Right.
blinding. Like, you are so cute. Like, you are so good. Like, are you for real?
Right. Wow.
And
Right.
she was. And she still is. I mean,
Yeah, she's a whole angel in
she
disguise,
is.
huh?
She's
Yeah,
the
I
sweetest
love
little thing.
it. And those are the ones you want to keep forever. Like, you know
Oh,
what? You're not going nowhere.
that's my girl. I talked to her this week. We had to have one of our catch up sessions. We hadn't talked in a while, and we were on
Okay.
the phone. It was like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I had put her on mute, and she was like, "Are you still there?" And so I unmuted. I was like, "Hold on 1 second," and muted her back. She goes, "Are you in the bathroom?" I was like, "Shut
Right.
up! I didn't want to hang up." She's like, "I know. I already went." So it was like,
I get it. I
I'm
definitely
sorry,
get
y'all.
that.
That's way too much
No,
information.
you're fine. No, that's what friends do. Like when you know that you're connected like that, and especially if she knew you was already doing what you was doing. Like,
Right. And
okay,
then she's like, "Oh, I know. Now I know. So you might as well just not even put me on mute."
right? Because I'm like, we already this close. Why not? Like, so we all do it. It's a part of life.
Right. Like, why you even tripping?
Wow, that's crazy. So I definitely love that. So like now that you have grown and gotten married and you know kind of pushed on through life, like how is that journey coming along with you now, right along with your
Wow. It's been
ex
up and
journey?
it's definitely been a journey. It's been up and down journey. My husband knew going in my story, and when we were pregnant with our daughter with Victoria, that was my fear.
Mm-hmm.
That I was just scared. I didn't know what this. I was excited, of course. This is our first baby,
Right.
but I didn't know what that was going to look like. Like, wow, I got pregnant, and then to find out, I think we found out at 16 weeks that I had already started crowning. And so
Wow.
they put me on bed rest and
Mm-hmm.
antibiotics. And so, but when I think it was 2 weeks later after that round of antibiotics and something else went down, by 19 weeks, my water broke. It was a whole hot mess in my house. And this was Christmas Day. And so we rushed to, we rushed to the hospital. And we didn't call. We were here in Indianapolis, and we didn't call. I have an aunt and two cousins that live here,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't call them to let them know what was going on because it was Christmas Day, and we
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to put that. We didn't want to ruin anybody else's holiday. Like, so we just went to the hospital. When the water broke, we knew what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of the longest drives ever, but it had snowed that day. We're in Indianapolis. It was a white
Right.
Christmas,
I
and I
wish.
remember being in the hospital, and we had we had already given birth to her, and again that to I never wanted to have a DNC again,
Right.
and to be able to actually give birth to her was such a blessing for me. Like it was such a relief.
Right. Like I went through it
I
this
went
time.
through like it. I didn't have it was a God kid. I can't even put
Right.
it in words how much of an answered prayer that was. And so we got to hold her, and they give you, or at least here in this hospital, they give you kind of a memory box with a little tag with her name on it,
Mm-hmm.
um, a little teddy bear that kind of shows you how small she was or what her size was.
Oh, that's cute.
So there's a picture with her beside the bear, so you can kind of gauge, her size. So, and she could fit in
Mm-hmm.
her hand. We both got to hold her and see like the last breath come out of her. And so we're in the hospital, and we had already had her, um, and it was just quiet in that space. We were both going through our own stuff, and there were
Right.
no words really that needed to be said. It was just quiet. And we hadn't called anybody because we didn't want to put that on anybody else.
Right.
And lo and behold, our hospital door opens up, and my aunt and uncle come in.
Oh wow. How did they figure that out?
And I looked at my husband, I was like, "Did you call them?" Like one of those, "What did you call?" Like he's like, "I didn't
Right.
call them." And so they came in, and I was like, "How did you know we were here?" And my aunt said she went to our house to check on us because they hadn't heard from us.
Mhm.
So she said, we went to the house to check on you, and we saw the tire tracks in the snow because my husband had backed up to the
Mhm.
door. We were in a townhouse, so he had backed up to the door, um, so I wouldn't have to walk too far
Right.
to get in the
Right.
car. She said we saw the tire tracks and we just decided we thought you might be here.
Wow.
And so they sat with us. Um, they got to see Victoria, and it made it real. And it was, God knows what you need before you even know,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
someone else got to see that she was real and got to experience her in that space. And I didn't know I needed that until they walked through those doors. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I just, when I write my book, like I have I talk a little bit about it I have a chapter in a book called Girl, Your Brand's a Big Deal. And I talk about my journey to motherhood and
Mhm.
having that experience of losing Victoria. But when my full story comes out,
I'm ready for it. Well, let me know when.
this chapter would be Tracks in the Snow, because I'm
Wow.
so grateful that my aunt, not only did she just come and, how the old folks say, come and see about you.
Come see about you. Mhm.
She came to see about me
Wow.
and knew something was wrong and continued to check on us. And my uncle, may he rest in peace, he was such a he, he had that Barry White deep voice.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
and but he was a therapist, and so, but he was a cool dude. Like, ah, Uncle Fall was cool, but he always knew what to say and what not to say.
Right.
And so he just came in with his baritone voice,
Hmm.
and I don't even know the words that he said, but it was enough. It made it okay. It helped us to feel seen and loved
Right.
and heard. And it was like just having them in that space was a
Right.
relief. Like, we didn't have to carry all of this by ourselves.
Yeah, you can breathe
I can
actually.
breathe,
Right.
I can breathe. And so I take that as sometimes you just have to show up for people.
Right.
You just have to show up for people. They don't always,
Even if you don't say a
you
word,
don't need to
just
say
show
a
up.
word, because
Yeah.
sometimes we
Mhm.
don't know what to say. We don't,
Right.
everybody doesn't have the gift that Uncle Paul had.
Right.
And so
Right.
sometimes,
That's a special gift.
come on,
Yeah.
just don't say anything, but be available.
Right.
Be in the space, you know, check on your people.
Right.
And I'm grateful for
Wow.
that. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Woo. All right. I was in a whole zone. Like I just listening to you talk about it, it was, you can feel the emotion in it. You can feel the love out of all of that. And though it was a sad moment, though in that moment, God yet showed,
He showed up and showed
he
out.
showed up exactly. He
Yeah,
showed up and showed out. He was in that moment with you in that present moment. Even if he didn't say a word, he was
he was
there.
there. And it was,
Yeah.
and those are defining moments.
Hmm.
Those are defining moments. And even
Yeah.
in that loss, and that was a heavy loss, and we still, I mean, it's a, I think people don't understand, a lot of people don't understand or don't talk about the impact of a miscarriage.
Right.
Because she was only 19 weeks, she was considered a miscarriage. If she had
Right.
been 20, I think that was the
Like
stillborn.
2021.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we don't talk about miscarriages and stillborns enough. And it's almost like with a stillborn, because you have you have the baby and you can have a ceremony for her.
Right.
People, I don't know. It's almost like it's acknowledged, but it's still hush hush. It's still not something you really talk about.
Right.
And a miscarriage, it's not even acknowledged. And then, or people will say, and they'll say it with stillborns too. It's like the worst thing you can say. Oh, you can have another one.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, that is the worst thing to say to
You
somebody
talk
who's
about wanting to
literally
karate chop somebody in the throat.
right in between the Adam's apple, right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
like, did you
Wow.
really? But they say it but they don't. They're actually trying to be helpful, which makes it
Right.
almost worse. Like, dude, just be quiet.
You're right. Right.
Just say, I love you. I'm here for you. What you need.
Right. Right.
That's it. I love
Right.
you. I'm here for you. What you need.
Right. Right. Wow. That is so that's yeah, that's definitely true, especially for someone who has not experienced that or lost any of a even if your child was old enough and you never lost a child at all, whether from birth or
Yeah.
whatever, you can't just say, oh well, it is what it is, because that's exactly what you hearing in your mind. It is what it
It
is.
is
Just
what it
just
is.
try
Like,
just try it again. Like, no,
right.
I
I
don't.
will karate chop you. Like, what?
Right. Like, and you lucky it's just a karate chop because you just literally stabbed me in my heart and you have no idea. Like,
Stabbed
I'm
and
already hurting.
twisted.
Yes,
Like,
right.
you don't even
Yeah.
acknowledge the life that I was carrying. Like, what?
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. Yeah. No. Whoever said, if y'all are listening, please don't ever say that to anybody. Like,
Anybody.
at all. Like, at all, at all, at
Miscarriage,
all.
stillborn, death of a
All of
child.
that.
Just,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Right, because the child is still a child, whether they're stillborn or not. They're still that human being that they might
Yes.
not be there, but they're still human. Like, and
And
I'm
they
human.
they still take up space in your heart.
Yes.
They still impact your life. Like even the babies that are terminated, they still take up space in
Yeah.
my heart and my mind.
Right.
I keep them in my count.
Right.
I don't disregard that um they were there.
Right.
And that's why I have begun to share their story,
Right.
because one, I want other moms to know that they're not alone. And when I
Hmm.
first gave my testimony about this, about determinations, I gave
Hmm.
I think my oldest was probably six when I first gave this testimony, 6 or 7.
Hmm.
I don't know, girl. Them ages be running together. He was
Yeah,
a little
girl,
bit. They were both
that part.
here,
They
but they
walking and talking.
yeah, they walking and talking. The youngest was at least 3 or 4, so he might have been, yeah, he was probably 7 or 8.
Okay.
But you know, I went to a women's conference, and this was the second time that I'd gone to this conference.
Hmm.
And it was did at this conference was about radical obedience. And that's
Mm.
what I got. And God told me, you need to tell the whole story.
Wow.
Because I can tell the story of Victoria.
Right.
People can receive that part of the story,
Right.
you know, and and they can feel it, and it's a loss and connect. But in order
With
to
Carmen
really,
and Michael. Yeah.
yeah, but
Hmm.
but to really understand why me being able to hold her whole in my hand was
Hmm.
such a powerful kiss from God. You got to know about Carmen and Michael.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You got to know about Carmen and Michael. And they existed
Yes.
as short as a time, for however short of a time
Right.
they existed.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
and
Wow. I
and,
just had a moment. Sorry. Ooh.
and even to for me, that's why I went not guns blazing, but bottles blazing for these two I got,
Right.
because I truly believe my troubles with um, carrying my pregnancy troubles was
Hmm.
because of the two terminations
Right.
that
Right.
damaged my cervix. Nobody talks about that. I don't
Yeah.
even know if there's like research on that,
Yeah.
but I truly believe, because I have what it's called an incompetent cervix. She's
Hmm.
too weak. It's too weak to hold the baby in. So I had
Right.
to have all kind of stuff sewed up to keep these two that I have in me, and they still came out. Had to come out early. Like my
Right.
oldest was born at 32 weeks, and I think the youngest was 34 weeks.
Okay.
And he was a C-section because they had sewn up everything.
Right. She said everything.
Everything. And it was like, okay, we can't undo this. So
Right.
we're gonna have to get him out a different way. Okay, all right,
Right.
do what
Good afternoon, good evening, y'all. I hope y'all are enjoying this conversation because I sure am. So, again, we will be posting a part two really soon because that conversation was really good. I had to break it up in two parts. So, again, if you want to listen to the next one, please follow and listen, and we will come back and talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for listening to Let's Be Real 100%, when we're 100% real about life. We hope that you enjoyed the topic today, and we hope that you trust God more and more each day. And we hope to see you next week.